How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin, and we are at our grand finale of Samurai season. And I am joined by Kerry from Silverscreen Snob. How are we doing, Kerry?
Hello. Very well, thank you.
So,
I'm gone.
no, go on, you all right?
I was just going to say, I'm really hoping that people on your channel don't click on this and think, wow, doesn't Luke look different when he's shaved?
Yeah, this is it. Just just 10 minutes, and it's just
Fantastic.
he clean shaves every morning, but then just grows a full gooseberry bush beard within the course of a day. He's So yeah, um, for regular viewers, you may or may not know, but my hetero life mate, my brother from another mother, my co-host of Maiden Cast and Pantera Cast, Kerry is his better half, and yeah, I know what you're all thinking. How on earth did that happen? But there's no accounting for good taste. So we are talking tonight about Zatoichi, and I'll save this right to the last of the series. And there's quite a lot to talk about. We're going to be focusing on the Takeshi Kitano version, the 2003 film. But there's a whole lore of Zatoichi. And
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Years of
I
stuff.
didn't realize at the time. So we'll touch on that a little bit. But like I say, our focus will be, excuse me, on this film. So the reason I wanted you to come on as well is because sort of Japanese film is kind of your forte anyway. And well, it's more than it is mine because I've gone right in the deep end with this series. But it was actually you that made me buy this 100 years ago when this came out. When what was that shop you used to work in?
Silver screen, hence
Silver
the
Screen.
name.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Right. So Silver Screen. And I
Yeah.
think I was just in there one afternoon. I went, I don't know what I'm in the mood for, but I fancy something different and something I've not heard of. I don't know. I want to watch a film, but I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for. Is there anything any good? And you went, have you seen this? And I was like, well, the case looks good. So I can't go wrong. And here we are, something like 20 years later, and I'm
Yeah.
doing this this samurai deep dive. I just suddenly one day went, I don't know anything about the samurai genre, but I do know that it has a big influence on the Western films. And I was
Oh
sort of
my
thinking
God.
the
Yeah.
the samurai is kind of like the cowboy, the lone cowboy that walks into a village and puts all the wrongs right and then just drifts off. And
Magnificent Seven. Yeah.
there's a
Yojimbo
bit
was
more to it than
influence.
that, but yeah, I wanted to look into that historic sort of way of life. So I did the a couple of book reviews as well. I've done Book of the Five Rings, the Hagakure. I'm chipping away at Musashi, and not as fast as I wanted to. But yeah, I've done a whole host of films, and yeah, I couldn't think of anyone better to close it with, really.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
I wanted to show this off to you as well, but I forgot to mention it beforehand, so I'll show it off to you now. Zatoichi, I was trying to get the box set, and I lost right at the last like seconds. Someone put in a bid
Yeah.
and beat me by like £2. But this redeemed it. I won this on eBay for £7. Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah,
love it.
bargain. And
Nice.
I don't know if there's anything, but yeah, I'll just.
So I
This
love
is.
that picture as well.
Oh, what, this
That's
one?
the iconic one.
This one.
No, the one and the other
Oh,
one.
that one.
Yeah.
Well, again,
Little did you know as well, just a little connection to what we're talking about today, because obviously Akira Kurosawa did Seven Samurai. His daughter actually was the costume designer for Zatoichi.
oh, that's interesting.
There
Yeah.
you go. So keeping that little family tie in there and have that little connection. So whether or not Beat made that decision on purpose or it just so happens that, she was right for the job, I don't know. But yeah, just a little
Yeah,
thing.
it's well, Toshiro Mifune, I didn't even know who the guy was a month ago, and now I've watched 7 or 8 of his films, and he's slowly become one of my favorite actors. And the same goes for
Yeah.
the guy that's in this one. Who I always have to read them. I can't.
Oh yeah, no, I butcher the names.
Tatsuya Nakadai is another.
That's pretty good. Oh, Ran, yes.
Yeah, I did that one.
Love Ran. Yeah.
This is yesterday, but before Rand there was Kagemusha,
Yeah.
which is kind of the prelude, not
Mm.
story wise, but just creatively. But when Akira Kurosawa, all of his early films were black and white. Cool. When he got
Yeah.
when he got color, he knew
Yeah.
he
It's
played with it.
mad.
But I think as well, either so far, either Seven Samurai or the Masashi trilogy has been my favorite. I mean, this is
Oh, okay.
just stunning as well, like visually. Because again, the first film, if that trilogy was came out the same year as Seven Samurai, and it's the
Ah, no,
same
I didn't
actor,
know that.
which is funny because you
Didn't
think, yeah,
You'll be surprised. I mean, talking of Zatoichi, I mean, the box set's 25 films, but there are only 11 years between the 25 movies. That's
yeah,
it. And there's even I think there's like a 2 year gap between two of the films as well. So they were quite prolific. They were like churning them out. And I don't know if that's because it's the same guy who's playing Zatoichi all the way through. So I don't know if it was an age thing, although saying that he ended up doing a TV series after the film's finished.
that's right.
And
Yeah,
then I think there was even another movie with him in the title role in like the 80s.
that's this.
There you
Yeah,
go.
so this is the only one that isn't in the box set, but I'll pass this on to you.
Yes, that was, yeah. So I think it's like the 80s or something, isn't it? Because that comes well
89 this, and
after.
this is the only one
Yeah.
as well. The
Same
ones
guy.
I've seen, this is the only one that's rated 18 as well. This is the most violent one.
Oh, it's always good.
Um, so I've got these two in the meantime because again, I was looking at that box set. I was thinking 25 films, I've not found one for less than 100 quid, apart from the
Yeah.
one I lost out on. Um, so I got these two. So that's
Oh, right, yeah.
7 films in total. And oh shit! And I just out of curiosity, I've saw that Criterion box set is 25 films, but one missing. How
Yeah.
annoying is that? And I bought this one thinking it was the first one. So I was like, oh, at least I can see the original
Oh, okay. Right.
because this was I flipped the cover around because I preferred the other poster, but that was the original one. Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman.
Oh, okay.
But it's officially called
Yeah.
Zatoichi, Darkness is his shadow or something like that. It's Darkness is his. Oh, I can't remember.
It's a great metal song.
But yeah, but you look that up. Try finding a copy for less than 25 quid.
Yeah.
And that's if it even plays in our region. So I bought this one just blind for a fiver, thinking it was a black and white one. And it turned out no, it's the 1989 one.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was sold.
So,
So yeah, I'll pass that on to you because then you at least
ah,
you've got the whole collection. Um, so yeah, let's get into the character, I suppose, and just sort of skim over the original series because if we was going to do the original series,
oh,
we'll end up
yeah.
doing Maiden Cast on our own. But yeah, so it was 26 films, 3 television series, I believe. Is it 2 or 3?
Yeah, something like that. 2 or 3 seasons, yeah.
And the whole thing was played by. Help me out, Gary. What's his name? Something Katsu.
She,
Here we go. No, that's not right.
you talk about the actor,
Yeah, the actor.
Shintaro Katsu.
There you go.
Although
Yeah,
I've probably actually butchered that. I apologize. I'll butcher all
and
the Japanese names.
he was also the producer of the Lone Wolf and Cub series,
Oh, okay.
and he also did a series called Razor. Have you heard of Razor?
No. Got a
I'll
funny
let
feeling I'm now going to start looking at it.
I'll let you look that one up.
Yay.
It only recently got a UK release,
Oh,
and not for the violence, shall we say? I
okay.
don't. Yeah, it's very politically incorrect. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay,
Um,
fine.
but yeah, the guy, beloved by fans. 26 films. You've
Yep.
seen. Right. So the films I've got here are there's no order at all. It's just seven random films in those box sets, and then this sort of soft reboot. Well, it's not a reboot, but he tried reviving the series later on, but I think the world had moved on at that point. But the first one in those two box sets is number 14 in the series.
Oh, okay.
Number 14 isn't the best to start on any franchise, is it? So
No.
hopefully you can help fill in the gaps with
Yeah.
me and we can kind of breeze over the series. Um, from those last 7 or 8 films that I watched, it seems like comedy had um, played a big part in it. I don't know how comedy plays a part in the early films.
Yeah, I mean, there are comedic elements, which I think is one of the reasons why Takeshi Kitano was probably drawn to it as well, because when we talk about that film, we'll talk about, you know, his whole involvement in it, because, you know, he didn't start off as a samurai sort of, you know, the Toshihiro Mifune type of actor. He's completely different. So the character as such has got the comedy moments, but yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
played a bit more seriously in the series. I mean, when you think that, and it's almost like story of the week type thing. You know, he goes to a town because he is if nobody knows who Zatoichi is, he's a blind masseur
Yeah.
who's actually quite handy with a sword, to be fair.
His cane is a
Yes,
sword. Yeah.
that's it. Um, but yeah, yeah, they've got the funny moments, but I think it's a bit more serious compared to the movie anyway that we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
It is a bit more serious. But yeah, it does find its feet as it goes on. I mean, I've only watched the first 6, I think, which is really unfair because actually, as you get through the series, they have some crossovers. So it's almost
Yes.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
um, with obviously one with Yojimbo,
Yeah.
so bringing back in Toshihiro, but they also did a crossover with the One Arm Swordsman,
That's right. Yeah.
which was a Shaw Brothers movie. Um, And also, I don't know how true this is, but in the box set, there are rumours that Shaw Brothers have their own cut of the film. So apparently, where they've completely changed the ending,
Right.
and it's about there somewhere. So without giving, because obviously I'm going to try not to spoil too much today, if
Well,
I
yeah,
can.
with no doubt there would have been. Yeah.
Tiny, yeah,
Um, so Toshiro Mifune is in. Yeah.
yeah,
Zatoichi
it's
meets
him.
Yojimbo,
Yeah, it's
and
him.
it's
Who brings
because
it back.
Yojimbo means hitman.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Can't
Yojimbo,
hold it,
so
yeah.
Yojimbo, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with Clint Eastwood is pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of Yojimbo. And
Hmm.
in that trilogy, he's the man with no name. He's known as Blondie, and his name changes in all 3 films. And he's kind of the same character, but he's officially different every time. They're unofficial sequels in those, and it's kind of the same. So you got Yojimbo and Sanjiro, and
That's
whenever
it.
they ask where he's from, he gives a different answer. And whenever I ask his
Yeah,
name, he has a different answer.
that's
And
it.
that continues in the Zatoichi film.
Hmm.
And the thing is, they say there's a lot of differences. So he's clearly not Yojimbo. He's just a hitman. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of differences, but there's also a lot of similarities. As soon
Yeah,
as Toshiro is on the screen, he kind of
yeah,
he kind of becomes Yojimbo anyway because that was his. That's the character that he really defined him. Even the Masashi films, he looks that way with a beard and a stern
yeah.
face. He's not like he is in Seven Samurai.
I
So
don't know if it's a copyright thing because it's kind of the same with the one-armed swordsman. He's played by the guy who does. I think his name was Jimmy Wang Yu. I think his name was, and he done all the one-armed swordsman's films. And he obviously had a character name. But then when he was in this one with the one-armed swordsman, he had a different name. So
right,
I don't.
so
But it was a one-armed swordsman. It's the same actor, but they had a different. So I don't know if it's a kind of
just as
copyright.
many
I'm not
differences,
sure.
so they can't be
Yeah.
sued, but just as many similarities for people
Maybe,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Which
going
is
to be one
weird
of them.
because Shaw Brothers still did the film. So I don't know. Maybe it was a compromise. You can use our character, but you can't use their real name, possibly type of thing. I don't know. That would be quite interesting to research.
I think that is actually the case,
Yeah.
and I suppose as well, Shintaro plays him with Takeshi, he's very still. Like he's just sort of just his eyes closed and he's taking everything in.
Mm-hmm.
While Shintaro's constantly just reacting to everything. Like he's never still. He's obviously his eyes are closed and he's constantly his head's just like he's always constantly smelling something or hearing something. He's all a lot more animated.
Yeah.
And there's some slapstick parts like he's surrounded by men and he's like, "Oh, you can't see." He went, "Yeah, but I'm gonna see you all naked in a second." And they're like, "What?" And he's like, and all of a sudden all their kimonos just fall off and they're in their underwear, and then they, loads
Run
of
away.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. But they do tend to be. I mean, there's one he's in a field. Well, one thing they miss in 2003 actually. He throws something up and he holds like this spike out and it lands on it.
Mm.
And he's like heads or tails, and then that's left or right is where he goes. That all the
Yeah.
stories start like that.
Yeah.
And there's one where he finds a pregnant woman in the field giving birth, and he saves the baby, but the woman dies. So he's now got the baby, and he's going to go to the nearest village to find out who to give the baby to, basically. And then that uncovers a whole, who was the woman, who was she running away from,
Yeah.
and there's generally things like that. The story tends to be he ends up in a village.
Yep.
The village tends to look the same from film to film.
Funny that.
And and normally he ends up in a gambling house, and it normally, I
Yeah.
can hear the dice.
Yeah.
You're using a different dice, and then,
That's
slices them
it.
in half, and normally ends up in a geisha house or so, and there'll
Yeah.
be some corrupt. Someone's running a brothel, but he's running the whole town wrong, and it tends, and then it tends to end with everything's in harmony, and they go
And
to thank him or go to look for him to see where he's gone, and he's just off in the distance, like just this dot in a, and he just goes from village to village,
that's
solving.
it. Story of the week.
Yeah. Um, but he was obviously a well loved character because
Mm-hmm.
I mean Bond's the only thing I can think of that has had as many. No, obviously one actor playing, but like you say, in 11 years. But even with Bond, it would have been a film a year rather than now, but there's like 5 year gaps in between them.
Yeah. But they're always trying to change it up, aren't they? So bringing in Daniel Craig, who at the time was younger, but they stuck with Shintaro the entire. Well, I don't know. Did they stick with him, or did Shintaro become so ingrained in the character? Hence why, I think he directed one. I can't remember which one he directed as well. We directed one,
He
possibly a
did
couple
produce
actually
one,
films.
yeah.
So yeah, so maybe just. I imagine that's why he tried to bring it back in the 80s as well.
He was originally meant to star in was that, yeah, no, Kogimusha, sorry, not
Oh,
Hagakure, was that one. He was actually meant to star in it, turned up on set and everything, and fell out with Akira Kurosawa and got kicked off, and they started again.
to be fair, that sounds about right for
Yeah,
Akira.
yeah. Well, Toshiro Mifune apparently famously fell out of him as well. So
Yeah, they did. They did. I think they did make up in the end. I think,
yeah,
but yeah, there was a bit of a falling out.
so
So
he
that's
he
it.
he definitely had his credentials, and he did other series and moved into producing later on in his
Mhm.
career as well. But yeah, he unfortunately passed away, and in 2000s ish, there was talk of relaunching the series with Takeshi Kitano.
Kitano.
I know him as Beat Takeshi.
Yes.
But
So Beat Takeshi is his what we call
yeah,
stage name because he was a comedian. So he called himself Beat Takeshi. So you notice that on the back of a DVD or whatever, if he's a star, he's Beat Takeshi. If he's producing or directing it, he's Takeshi Kitano.
right,
So he
okay.
could have two names on the back if which he does quite often. So because I think for the 2003 version, he wrote it, he directed it, he part edited it. So What I like
yeah,
to call a Robert Rodriguez.
yeah,
Does pretty much everything.
it was his project, and
Hmm.
but apparently he was approached to do it. It wasn't something he originally wanted to do,
Yeah,
and he was hesitant because he said, you know, no one's going to accept someone else playing Zatoichi, and then he agreed that he would do it, but he would put his own stamp on it.
yeah,
And in the interviews in this DVD, he uses a beautiful analogy of it's football. The English, the French, the South Americans, they all play it different, but the rules are the same.
yeah,
I mean, so I had the roles that were set out that we had to be, had to be a monsieur, had to be a the cane with the
yeah,
sword, and had to be blind. And apart from that, as long as those main
yeah.
characteristics were in place, he was free to do with it what he wanted. And I think
Mm,
he found a. I think this film finds a nice balance because after watching these and then watching this with a bit more context,
yeah,
it still feels very much like a Zatoichi film. I wouldn't have, you know, we have the
yeah.
look.
It's I mean, it's weird because I always look at this and go, I always prefer this one. And I don't know if it's just because I'm biased because I love Beat Takeshi. I love all the stuff that he did beforehand, like all his Yakuza films. I absolutely love them. I mean, even sad, I love Takeshi's Castle, which he created, and I was like,
Yeah,
I love him. But it's just
many a
this.
hungover morning in the.
Oh God, yeah, Channel 4, Takeshi's Castle, Ninja Warrior. That was my morning
Yeah.
sorted. Um, but this just feels, it's a Zatoichi film, but it's a Beat Takeshi film,
Hmm.
or Takeshi Kitano because he's directing it. But yeah, there's certain elements in there you go, yeah. That, I mean, without giving too much away, how many Zatoichi films do you think you could watch where you have a massive musical number in it? And there is a
Yeah.
huge, it's a huge, and it's a thing. I won't tell you when, so I'm trying not to give anything away.
Let's
But
wait. Don't worry about spoilers. This is a 20
I
year old
try
film.
not to. I hate those people. I try not to. However,
All right.
it,
If you're
you
going to
look
give
at,
a spoiler, just give a warning, and then it's down to
they go
them.
la la la
Yeah.
la la.
Yeah.
But this isn't really a spoiler. It just happens in the film, and you just think, what? It's meant to be a serious film, but it works. It's so stupid, but it works. And it's just his style of film. I just love the way that he did it because this is actually one of my favorite films. So not just my favorite samurai film, it's one of my favorite films, and it's because it gives me every emotion that I want. It may, and even though I watched it 2 days ago, and I've seen it dozens of times, and I watched it 2 days ago, and I cried at the same bits, and I laughed out loud at the same bits, and I was like silent, and it hits, and that's what I love about this film. That's why this film I love more than all the other Zatoichi films because it just gives me everything that I want. And
Do you
yeah,
know what? Actually, because I'm getting more sensitive as I get older, and I never used to cry at films, but I often find myself pulling myself together in films now.
yeah,
Um,
let it out,
and
Joe. Let it
there
out.
was a bit in this film that caught me off guard, and I thought, "Fuck,"
Mm.
and I choked up a bit, and I was like, I had to pull myself
Yeah,
together. And it's during the bit that you're talking about, and I think you know what bit as well.
I think yeah,
Um, but I don't want to. We'll get to that in a
yeah,
sec because let's talk about the story because this is actually
yeah,
quite multi-layered.
yeah,
Um, so Zatoichi, whose hair's dyed blonde, or he
yeah.
has blonde hair this time,
It
and
does.
that is a reference to the American. Um, what was it? it was just their take. It's a Blind Fury, but starring Rutger
Oh,
Hauer.
Big Hour, yeah,
That was the American take on
yeah,
Zatoichi.
yeah. I
And I,
forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah, so Takeshi dyes his hair blonde as a nod and a wink to that, apparently.
Ah,
Um,
excellent.
and yeah, same sort of thing. He's a blind masseuse who just arrives
Mhm,
and he offers his services for shelter.
mhm,
And as he's, just in this new village, he's hearing things of what's going on. There's a gang that's corrupted the local village. They're all, they're extortionating everyone for their rice and stuff like that. And then there's another story of two geisha girls
Hmm.
in, and but it turns out they're not two girls. They're actually one is a boy who's posing as a girl and offering the sexual favors in order to save his sister. And there's great scenes as well where they're doing the because a geisha wasn't just like they they provided all different services and
Yeah.
music is one as well, and as well as serving um and it's the music is great with the dancing and the it's and then they end up as assassins themselves because they're killing
Yeah.
people off, getting revenge for
Yeah.
what happened to their family, and yeah, it all kind of wraps
Right.
together as this.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of comedy in this film as well, though. Thinking back to the original, many a time, like a swordsman will just draw out his sword, he'll just hit one of his friends, like slice his
Yeah.
friend's
And at the
arm
beginning,
as
at
a,
the
you
beginning,
know,
yeah.
yeah. There's some awesome fight scenes as well, especially the one when he's in the rain. It just looks fucking cool.
Yes.
And let's get the
Oh.
what happened to my postcards? I've lost them. Oh, they're in the yeah. I mean, this is definitely the best edition of this film as well. Everyone, I think there's some 4K and all that, but
Yeah, I can't
this
remember what
one,
mine is actually.
this is the original, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
the fight scene in the rain is just awesome.
Yes. It is. It is amazing. It's because I think sometimes now some audiences are just used to big, long, drawn out, massively over choreographed fight scenes, and this doesn't. But then that's more realistic because they're samurai. They're not going to be like fighting for 10 minutes trying
There's
to get.
hardly any of that in these original films either. A lot of it is
Yeah.
political and it's all and philosophical. It's a lot
Hmm.
of it. It's a lot of talking and yeah, a lot of the fights. It's more who gets the hit in
Yep.
first rather
Which,
than
which would have been,
yeah.
yeah.
And you've got I don't know where the transition is, and I thought I might have seen it over the course of watching all these films, but I've still not really seen much yet where it kind of transitions into like a lot of gore, or the whole slice and the,
Yeah. Well, this one
um,
he does add the digital. He said he was going to do it anyway. So the digital blood, which you can kind of see if you've got a really clear version of it, you can see it is quite. It is definitely digital. I mean, the film's 22 years old now, but he did that on purpose. He wanted that, and I think that's why it's shot. If you know, I don't know if you noticed as well. When you first see it, it's all very grey. Everything. The colours are just really muted, and it's quite pale. So that I think when the red is used, when the blood spurts out, it really
yeah.
stands out,
Mm.
and I like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit
No,
sadistic,
no,
but
yeah, no.
I
It's in Ryan as well. There's a scene where the
enjoy
blood goes on, and again, it's really. I
that.
even said it's crimson the way it's, you know. But I think that's another nod from Akira Kurosawa is the use of color. It's
Hmm.
amazing how much he uses it to get messages across and symbology, but the way the sunsets and stuff like that. But that must have influenced filmmakers going forward. But yeah, so I'm trying to think now how the story kind of resolves itself. We can get into spoilers now. So if you've not seen it, for
Yeah.
God's sake, go watch it and then come back and we'll talk about.
Yeah. What you been doing?
Um,
Well, what one character we haven't mentioned, which kind of comes into the whole finale, is the bodyguard.
right. Yes.
So,
Yes.
who is he's traveling with his wife. His wife is, we know she's ill. We don't really know what's wrong with her. So he is forced to take a job. He gives a bit of a demonstration in the bar of what he can do.
Yeah. He
And he
slices
ends
the
up
bottle
being
of suck because the
that's
gangsters come into the place to take the money,
yeah.
and they go
And
like, "What are you looking at?" And he's and he does yeah,
the
and he goes,
sword in the
"Tell your boss I'm looking for work," and then they run
yeah.
off. and then they come back and he does the whole and all right,
Sword in the shoe.
yeah, look at your foot, and he's yeah,
I love it. But yeah, so that it's his story, like you said, the two geisha story, Zatoichi's story, and it just and the nephew who we haven't mentioned, but the woman he's staying with has a nephew who's got a gambling problem. So, the whole gambling
yeah,
comes back into it because he helps him out and stuff like that. And it just all converges nicely into sort of the finale where we have everyone, there's different fight scenes. But again, like you said, they're not massively long, but I'm trying to think about the ones where the two girls get cornered in the tea house.
yeah.
And then Zatoichi comes in. It's the sword through the fence.
Oh, for the what? Yeah, yeah.
Love that point. That was a bit of a yes moment. Kind of knew it was going to be okay, but there was a little bit like, you don't know. But yeah. So, yeah, and it's just that. And the guy who plays the bodyguard, no, I'm going to get this wrong because I always say this wrong.
Yeah,
Tadanobu Asano.
yeah, that looks all right. Yeah.
Yeah, in my lovely Dagenham accent. But yeah, he's actually probably the biggest star in that movie because he has been in 3 Marvel films. He was in Thor, Dark World, and Ragnarok.
Right. Yeah.
He's just been in that new adaptation of Shogun, and he was amazing in that. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that was.
If you see him in this in Zatoichi and you compare him to how he is in Shogun, he's such a great actor, so fantastic. What he pulls back and he does the smallest amount possible in Zatoichi because that's how his character is, and then how flamboyant and over the top he is in Shogun.
Yeah.
He's
Have you
amazing.
seen the original Shogun as well?
Yes, yeah. A
Toshiro,
long time ago though.
Toshiro Mifune's in that.
Yeah.
And apparently that's what got Akira Kurosawa's backup because he did a series when he should be doing films. Yeah. And
Artistic people, I don't know.
and interestingly enough, the war at the end of Shogun, or the war that is the events are leading up to, is where the story of Masushi, that story begins after that war.
Okay.
So it basically opens, or well, no, not so much the book, but the first film opens with the aftermath of that war, and he's basically a young soldier that idealistically just was looking for adventure really, and joins the army, and he's right. He survived, but he's now got to escape and hide because as soon as someone spots that he's alive, they're just going to slaughter him.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes from there, and then he learns how to be a samurai. Yeah. Anyway, so on and so forth. But I thought it was quite funny how Shogun, because Shogun was really popular here. My dad's got the box set of the original, and now we've got this new one on the Disney Channel. Yeah, it's connecting it all where they all what am I trying to say? It's filling the gaps basically where everything connects,
Yeah, because I think people forget it was, even though it's based on the book, that book is based on real life. It was an actual story. He was a real person called William Adams, who was from Kent, funnily enough. But yeah, it's all true. I know, obviously, they made it a little bit more fantastical for the.
Oh, it's the same with this Musashi book. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, some sugar and spice has been added to the proceedings. And you can. There's plenty of historians that are going to be. Actually, what actually happened? Yeah, who cares? It's
My daughter likes to tell me it's not historically accurate. And where that might annoy me sometimes, but then every so often I'm like, yeah, it looks better like this.
There's historical accuracy and there's true, and the truth of this story, for example, isn't the the definition of a myth is the point of the story, whether it's true or not, is irrelevant. The Iliad, how historically accurate the Iliad is
Hmm.
irrelevant. How true or Beowulf is irrelevant because the essence of the story is true.
Yeah.
That's so in other words, don't let truth get in the way of a good story. So yeah.
Unless it's 47 Ronin, because I refuse to watch that movie. Just saying.
Is that the one with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I've not seen that one.
Again, Tadanobu is actually in that film.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah. But I listen, I've never watched it. It might be a great movie. It might be fantastical and wonderful. However, it's completely and utterly unrelated to the 47 Ronin, and I'd rather watch what's it called? Fall of Ako Castle? Ako? Something like that. Anyway, it's Luke bought it for me, and it's actually a proper story about 47 Ronin.
Oh right,
So
okay.
as much as I love John Wick, sorry, Keanu. As
Well,
if he's gonna watch this.
I'm yeah. He's got some anonymous.
What
He's a
did she say about me?
yeah. He's a closet Maiden fan as well. I have you know.
Yeah, hell
He
yeah.
watches Maiden cast. So um yeah, let's get to the musical bit at the end then. Well, shall we get the big twist in this really is that Zatoichi can actually see.
Yeah.
Now that is one for the lore bros. Yeah, he reveals at the end he could see all along.
I reckon that's a little beat twist. I reckon that's what he wanted. Said he's got to keep certain things, and he does for most of the film until that last little bit. But I love the saying at the end.
Although, go on.
It's something
I
about
didn't
even with my eyes wide open, I still
open.
can't see it, or something.
Yeah, with
I've
my
only
eyes
saw
wide open, even then, something like that. We've got to look
Yeah.
it up now.
Talk
You carry on for a sec. Talk about the musical thing, and I'm going to quickly
about the
Google
musical thing. Well, actually, just while I talk about the musical thing, what I did read up on is he actually uses a complete different composer for this movie. So he worked with the same guy for his last like 10, 11 years. So he composed all his films. And then for this one, he decided it needed a bit more. Now, from what I read, the quote was percussion like, which if you watch the film, it's musical all the way through, really. I mean, it's so rhythmic and it's so like when the people are working in the fields and they're using their tools and stuff, and it's in a rhythm and everything's got this little rhythm going. And apparently the guy that he worked with previously he's got a bit of a tendency to be very inflexible, shall we say. He doesn't change very well. So he worked with someone completely different for this, and you can tell if you've ever watched a Beat Takeshi film like Hanabi or God, what was the other one? It's gone. Can't remember. But the three Yakuza films that he did before, obviously, music is completely different. This is very, it's very rhythmic. There's something to it, and
I just kind of know him from Battle Royale, but
I give you started on Battle Royale.
another one, yeah.
On that one, I love that movie. Yeah, obviously different director, but yeah, but yeah, and it's got all this, and then obviously, as I said, there is a massive musical number, which makes sense because it's actually part of a celebration. So it's not like a musical where they start
the
singing.
music starts with the conclusion of the film. Really, it's the final battle, so it's kind of like a backup of the final scene. And then as everything's resolved, the music then takes over as a celebration.
Yeah.
And it reminds me sort of as the end of a play when you got the final thing and then all the cast come out and bow and even the villain comes out and he's smiling and everything's all right in the world, And that's how it feels at the end of the film. But yeah, there's that bit as well when the two geishas go into the middle of the dance, and then just for that split second, they're children again. Obviously, there's a flashback scene to when they're children.
Yeah.
And that is kind of letting you know that all is good in the world. The balance has been restored when they just go back to that moment where they're children again. And that caught me off guard. That did. I was like, oh, God. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. But yeah, let's go to the quote. It is, even with my eyes wide open, I can't see a thing.
Ah,
which, yeah, that is there a theme, a symbology that applies to the whole?
you could apply that to everything. You could apply it to the fact that we've watched this entire movie and he could see the entire time, and we didn't see that he could see the entire time. You could apply it to so much. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's an actual. I don't know if it's a saying. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's just. I don't know. I just like it. I like when these films have lines and it's like you can interpret it in so many different ways, and it's like, yeah, well, and yeah, it's one of
Is
those
it the
moments.
way the whole character of Zatoichi is, where he's kind of like a bit like Columbo in a way. Like Columbo was always like this bumbling, always
Yeah,
thought he was stupid, and then and he would play along with it and get the people to let their guard down, and then to go,
yeah,
there's just one more thing, and then boom. And Zatoichi, because he, especially in those original, well, I say the original films, the last eight of the original fun, he does play into the stumbling, like
yeah,
blind idiot, and he often tells jokes that he's actually the butt of. And is it playing into, right? They're going to show me who they really are now because they think I'm
yeah,
harmless, And
yeah.
is it sort of turning it in on himself, where he might see the world's blind spots, but he has his own blind spots that he doesn't see himself. I don't know. I'm riffing now,
I
but
mean, no, because I mean, it's the same, isn't it? Because like he works out who, because you never know who the leader is, the leader of the gang,
mm,
until right at the end. But Zatoichi has figured it out. So Zatoichi is the one who's seen everything, and I don't know, maybe as well, without giving too much away, you do see who the leader is. You just don't know who the leader is until the very end when he confronts him. So yeah, it's all. I love the whole thing. You'd have to go back and watch the film again and go, did I miss something? Did I not see that? And I've seen it, like I said, a dozen times. Watched it a couple of days ago, and the only reason I knew who it was is because I remember I didn't watch it and go, you're clearly the bad guy. I still couldn't even work it out. I just went, oh yeah, I remember now. So I just the whole philosophy of even though you can see everything, can you really?
yeah, yeah,
Maybe it's the whole the blind can see better than you can because they're actually using everything else. I don't know.
yeah. They're paying
I
more
just
attention, really.
I just
Yeah,
love a good like last line that makes you think. It's same with Lahane. Lahane had a really good last line that makes you think, and it's just like, yeah, it's one of those. If a film can keep with you after that, instead of you just going, yeah, that was a good movie, it goes from a good movie to a great movie.
yeah,
So,
and a great
in
movie,
my opinion,
just like a great book or anything. After year, you keep watching it, and you just appreciate it more, and you spot things that you didn't spot, and
mm,
details that have, like you say, you get a big revealing at the end, but then you watch it, and from the beginning, it was there the whole time. Um, so I'm just going for the film series now. So yeah, Darkness is His Ally was the name of the film.
still a good metal song though.
But here it's Zatoichi the Blind Swordsman. So don't go spending a fortune on the import version. Just get Zatoichi the Blind Swordsman for a fiver, and you've got the same
You'll
film.
be fine.
We had so 1979 he did 4 seasons, a total of
After,
100
okay,
episodes. So the last one was in 1979, and then he did one last film in 1989.
yeah, 89, yeah.
Then we've got um, Zatoichi 2003. Oh, also in 1989 we had Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer. And apparently that took the storyline from Zatoichi Challenged from 1967.
I
Um,
don't know. I don't think I've got there yet. Maybe I have.
yeah. And then we've got Ichi in 2008,
Hmm.
which is a female Zatoichi. It's a blind female musician is rescued and then trained by Zatoichi.
Oh,
He's his
okay.
mentor. That was in
Nice.
2008. And then there was in 2010 Zatoichi The Last,
Yes.
which is on YouTube.
Yeah. I
Um,
remember you. I think you sent the link to me. I just haven't
yeah,
got around to watching it yet
I
because
didn't get round to it either.
I
I'm
think I'm
gonna
going
have
to
to-
do a whole. I'm going to
well,
start from the beginning again.
I looked on internet IMDb and I didn't see a single good review of it. So I
Oh,
was like, oh,
maybe we'll leave it then.
and it was these were I love this character. I love the Takeshi Kitano version,
Yeah.
and really liked the Ichi with the female lead as well, where he's sort of passing the torch. Like love all of them. This isn't him. Apparently he's married in it with a family. The guy that plays him is really there's no humor there. There's like this just doesn't feel like a Zatoichi film. It could have been
Oh.
if it was called, and it was review after review. So it may be good. I don't know, but I just thought, oh, I'm running out of time, so leave it at
We'll
that.
stop with the good ones.
Yeah, I'm intrigued with Ichi though, the 2008 one. Might track that one down at some point. But so yeah, in conclusion, what's our closing thoughts on Zatoichi? What is it about this film that just hits? And it's one of your top films as well. I didn't
It
realize
is.
that.
It is one of my top 5 films of all time. I mean, ever. And that's like got to be good
It's
to
a
be
good
in
one
that.
to have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
But again, it's like I said earlier. It's because it hits all the emotions. I don't sit there because you get a good action film and you're like the adrenaline's there and stuff like that, and then come down afterwards. Or like you have a comedy where you laugh all the way through, but you haven't really got like you know the tension and stuff like that. Where this gives me everything. Like the even the stupid bit. There's a bit with the neighbour's son who's a complete and utter idiot who just runs
We
around
forgot about
randomly.
him. Yeah.
Him he with his little sort of nappy. I don't know. There is probably a more traditional name, but I can't think of it. But he's basically just in his nappy with a spear, just running around randomly. And Zatoichi throws the brick at him
Yeah.
and it just goes down and then gets up and starts doing it again. Madness. I mean, just absolute random weirdness. But then it has got drama because it did make me cry. And the exact same bit, even though I know it's coming, I still was bawling like a baby. Yeah, the action scenes are great. I love the fact that the last fight scene is in the dark because
Mm.
they had that conversation. There's conversation earlier on in the film about, if he's in the dark, you'll be equal. And they have that last showdown on the beach. Yeah, it just it has everything, and I do love Beat Takeshi. I absolutely love him. Like we mentioned, Battle Royale earlier. Um, I love all of his like Yakuza films. He has done a couple of weird comedy ones because he is a comedian to start with.
It is quite a career turnaround, isn't it? To go from basically a game show host to doing
Yeah,
these really gritty, serious, extreme films, and
he used to
you
get in
know,
so much trouble for his comedy because he used to just pick on he used to do jokes about the disabled and anyone who was seen as a vulnerable member of society. He used to do jokes and he got in a lot of trouble for it. So for him to turn it around and become like this prolific actor then director, I mean, it's a hell of a career he's had.
critically acclaimed as well. You know, he's not.
Yeah.
You know,
So but yeah, this is a Zatoichi film. It's a great movie, but the thing that gets me more than the other Zatoichi films is because it has that little bit of the Beat Takeshi twist on it, and I love that. And it's just I dare you to watch it and not feel something. If you don't laugh out loud at least once, or you don't feel sad and at least shed a tear at least once, maybe you're dead inside. I don't know, but just gotta watch this film. In my
yeah.
opinion,
I mean, it's a film that it has everything. I mean, you've said that. I say that about my favorite album. It's like every emotion I've ever felt, I feel again whilst listening to this album at some point.
yes,
And this film literally does have everything. It has, if you're a kung fu, you know, if you like your action, this has got some of the best action. It's got some laugh out loud comedy bits. It's got cutting edge, heart wrenching drama. It's got a brilliant musical that's choreographed brilliantly at the end that just wraps everything up in a bow at the end. It's beautifully filmed, great cinematography, and you can pretend you're sophisticated because it's subtitled. So
you watched a foreign movie.
Yeah, it's you know you've even got street cred with it. So what's not to like? It's everything is just wrapped
Don't
up.
say that now because you're now putting it out in the universe and they're going to make a Hollywood version.
And it comes in
I
a
know they've
really
gone with Gahala,
fucking
but
cool steel book like case as
I
well.
know
Like,
the artwork is amazing. Like the
yeah.
whole, yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is Samurai season being wrapped up.
Oh,
Thank you everyone for watching it and joining me on this as I've been learning as I go, as I take this deep dive. Kerry, thank you for joining me on this last
thanks
episode.
for having
And I'm
me.
glad, you know, I didn't realise it was one of your favourite films, so I'm even happier that I asked you to come on. But it was you that recommended me this, so I couldn't think of anyone better to come on and do it with. So
I have my uses.
So, yeah, thanks everyone for watching. And yes, please, in the description below, Silverscreen Snob, go check out our channel, go subscribe, go watch. And yeah, thanks again. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you on the next one.